You ready to go to the freezer? Good morning, everybody. So we are finally processing our meat chickens. It's been a long time coming, and I'll explain why here in just a little bit, but I'll show you our setup, what we're doing different this time. And these chickens are hilarious.
There's 3 down here right now.
It is really amazing how well they've thrived. So we've got a few down here. They're just checking everything out, and which is kind of funny. But we have them in this pasture right here within the Premier One fence. It's in there, the truck's in the way, but they're over a month due to be butchered. So it's been a month since we needed to do this, and we've had some things come up each weekend. But they're thriving and they're doing good. They're actually like walking around. They're able to move. We cut back on their feed, so it is possible to do that. You don't have to feed them like crazy and kill them exactly 8-9 weeks. So if you need to let them go, cut back on their feed. These guys are doing great. They're huge, really good size to butcher. And I'm guessing we'll have about 5 to 7 pounds just like last time. If not even a little bit bigger. And all we did was cut back their food once we kind of seen that we weren't going to be able to process them when we wanted to. So I'll show you the setup. We're down here at the farmhouse because it's shaded. Of course it's not shaded right now. We were thinking it would be more shaded. We're going to get the Easy Up and put it up. But we've got our table here where we'll be cutting them up. We've got a gut bucket. And then just to this tree, we've got a couple buckets and our killing cones. Right over here, we've got one of our water hoses, our water, which Josh is having to go get a new burner. This one's not working, so we got a little bit of a late start this morning. And then our plucker. So how it will go is, so we've got a cage where we'll go get a couple and put them in here. They'll go to the killing cones, then to the scalder, then to the plucker, then they'll come over here to me, and we'll have the cooler set up. That's what we're fixing to do, me and the kids. But we will put them in a vinegar ice bath really quick, and then I'll pull them out. And we're actually cutting these up into pieces, so we'll have wings, drums, thighs, breast, the whole thing. I may keep the feet and the skin that I pull off the breast, and maybe some of the carcasses to make bone broth. So I'll be packaging these in my food saver with my vacuum seal bags, and we'll do it just by I'll have, you know, a bag with a few breasts and thighs in it, probably, because I usually like to do the breasts and thighs in like casseroles and soups and stuff. And then I will do the chicken wings. We're gonna do about 20 per bag, and then the chicken wings and drums mixed. And then we'll have bags with just chicken breast, just thighs, that kind of thing. May or may not keep the carcasses. If I do, I obviously have to gut them, and I just don't know if it's worth the extra time to do that, because that's what takes the longest, that's the messiest. But we're just gonna see how it goes. But don't worry, we're not gonna show anything graphic on here today. I'll probably just bring you back, do a little time lapse, and then bring you back when we're ready to package and show you how I'm doing that. I want to tell you, we've had a very eventful last couple weeks, and I'm going to explain all of that right now, and I'll show you all the footage, the little clips that I've got here and there of these kind of major events that's happened the last 2 weeks. And I'll catch you up on that, and then we'll come back here and I'll show you how I got this, how I'm packaging these up. Alright, so first off, on this day, I brought the kids up to the river, a new spot that we hadn't been to, that I used to come to as a kid. I brought them up here to just get out of the house and get our mind off some things, do something fun, because we had a very stressful week prior to this. So going back to the beginning, of course it's middle of canning season and harvest season, and we were trying our best to get the tomatoes done that were coming in, and the tomatoes done out of the freezer. That's why the meat chickens, we had to prolong that because we had to have our freezer cleaned out first. So, in the midst of all that, my father-in-law, found out that he needed to have emergency heart surgery. Pretty emergent. It was like a Monday when he found out, and by Wednesday he had surgery. And in that, they needed people to stay with them. So my husband had been gone, I think at this point, like 2 or 3 days. So I had been alone with the kids. So that's why we just really needed to get out of the house and do something fun. But, so thankfully now we're on the other side of that. My father-in-law is recovering very well from surgery. Thank you for the prayers, those of you that prayed and follow me on social media and know what we were going through. And then the funny thing, the kind of thing that pushed it over the edge, was the night before his surgery, we had hurricane or tropical storm, I think it was Fred, that come through. And we had ended up staying at the fire department because there was tornado warnings, like 3 different ones for our area of the county. And I've got a little bit of footage I'll show right here of that. But it was pretty intense. A long night. A long next day as well. So our driveway washed out. And then I was coming home to get some extra clothes for Mason and Josh because they had been out in the weather running calls. And we seen that our road was flooded. So there was some flooding on our road, lots of mudslides, and our driveway washed out almost completely. Like it was up to my knee, like I could stand in the little, like the creek it made through our driveway. I could stand in that and it would come up to my knee. And then there was on the mountain, this is a cool picture. So there's usually not a waterfall here, but you can see the 2 waterfalls. And that's just a good indication of how much water we had gotten, because that was insane for there to never be a waterfall there. And then this massive, I mean, it had to have been massive. But that's where the water was coming down and ended up, you know, because we're on the bottom of the mountain, so it just kind of comes down. That's where the road had flooded and everything. I guess that's where it had all came from. Alright, so this wasn't a hurricane. This was just a regular storm in the middle, in between 2 hurricanes that we actually had. But if you watch these oak trees on the left or right side of your screen, you can see that they're now gone. They fell over, along with there's a total of 23 trees on our property that fell down. So this is the footage from that storm only. Of course, the fire department came for that one because it fell across the road. Actually, 2 or 3 had fell across the road right there, from our property onto the road. Thankfully, the power lines weren't hit in this, and we really just had the power flicker a couple times. So we were very fortunate as many lines as we had, but you can see just so many trees fell. It was almost like a straight line, like a tornado would do. It was just like this straight line from the top of our property all the way to the bottom. This the trees fell down. I mean, you can look and visibly see a pattern, almost as if, you know, a tornado came through there. You can see they're on the corn. They're all down in the power line area, and up where we cleared for our house, we had these two over here, this massive one, or it's actually two, but it uprooted them. Some more around the front of the property, kind of looking back towards the mountain, and then some towards the back, and then a lot in that wooded area. So lots there. And then, as if that wasn't enough, so during this storm, I was in the middle of canning tomatoes. Josh comes in, says, call the power company, the apple tree is on fire. So you can kind of see it there a little bit. There were some more of the trees that were down, that one next to the garden, the apple tree prior to them cutting it. And yeah, so they came out finally and cut down a good about half of the apple tree, which it needed to be trimmed a long time ago anyway. It hadn't been trimmed in forever, many years. So so we got all of these trees to clean up, and the other one to the right is going to have to come down too. He was going to do it then, but we have the cattle panels still in the garden, so we're going to wait until they are pulled up and we can hopefully fall it back that way, or we can try to do it ourselves or something. But yeah, so the apple tree caught on fire and we lost power then, because it popped the transformer. So yeah, we lost power for a good little bit. So thankfully my timer had just went off, so I didn't have to worry about that. The power was only off for like 20 or 30 minutes. So we got to eat supper and rest after that, because that was such an unexpected long day. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to package these up. I've got my bags here, and these are sealed on one end. I have rolls if I need more, but I don't like doing the rolls because you have to waste time to seal the other end of the bag. So I wanted it to be easy, so I ordered these bags. And so what I've done here is I've just rolled them down, so that where I'm sealing isn't getting wet. I'm just rolling it down. Now, this is a pretty big bag. These are 11 by 16. But I'm going to probably put 2 to 3 breasts in each bag. I know that seems like I'm wasting a lot, but I'm just paying for the convenience of having them done right in the way that we'll use them. So I just rolled it down. They're going to bring the meat in from the coolers, and like we're doing wings, and then we'll do the wings in a bag. We're going to do 20 wings in each bag, and then 10 drumsticks in each bag, because that's what we'll eat. Like if we do chicken wings one night, we'll do about 20 wings and 10 drums is what feeds us. So since they're so big, we are going to just use 10. We usually do about 40 to 50 wings, but these drumsticks are massive, so I don't think we'll have any issues using 30. We'll just see. If I need to pull it out of the bag, I can. But so I'm just waiting on them to bring me some in, and then we'll get started packaging it.
You said how many wings?
10 drumsticks, 20 wings. Well, we can do them in increments of 10, just depends on how many are going in the bag.
Well, that's 15 wings. Let's do 15 and 5, 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, you're doing them all in one bag.
Yeah, ain't that what you wanted?
If they don't fit, yeah. Yeah. So what I'm having to do, since these have some moisture in them is I'm taking a paper towel and just folding it. It's the little paper towels. And I'm just going to stick it in the bag so that it wicks up that moisture. This bag doesn't seal all the way.
2 drums.
Hopefully that was still, inside of that was still pretty wet. Alright, so take it, fold it. Alright guys, so I'm ending this video here. We've had so much to do the last couple weeks, and I just wanted to catch you guys up before I feel like I can move forward. I have to get out everything that's happened. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you for sticking around, and we'll see you next time very soon. Thank you, and God bless.